I'm Melissa, your free range psychic. It's May 7th, 2023. Today I'm going to do a guided reading on Elon Musk, but I'm not going to use tarot. I'm just going to let you know what they're telling me. And we do have an oracle card at the end of the reading by Angela. I always want to say Angelina. I don't know why. Angela Hartfield, called Whispers of Healing Oracle. And basically what the guides told me was that Elon Musk was paid by the Saudis to destroy Twitter. And the Saudis lent Elon Musk the money to buy Twitter. Without the Saudis, he wouldn't have been able to purchase Twitter. He's losing all that money with Tesla, and his wealth is really smoke and mirrors. He likes to have people think he's one of the wealthiest men in the world, but really he's owned. He's just in total debt. He just, shifts and puts one thing over here and one thing over there, and he borrows this money, and then that money is whatever. He really doesn't have that much money of his own, and he inherited his money, right? So the reason the Saudis wanted Twitter destroyed was because they really still feel it's too dangerous as a tool for free exchange of information and ideas, which fundamentally undermine autocracies around the world, and also they help defend democracies. But according to my guides, Musk won't be successful. They say he's not reliable and he's not stable as a person, and he struggles with addiction. Maybe that's one of the reasons that the Saudis chose Musk, because he was going to be a disaster, and then they knew it. But in terms of even the task of destroying Twitter, he gets too distracted. He becomes bored so easily that he puts it in charge of other people, and then sometimes it seems to run like normal. But then, he'll come in with this idea, I'll get rid of the blue check marks, or I'll make people pay for them, and, but none of these things are really working too well. He is increasing the right-wing bots. He's letting terrible people on. He's doing the best he can, and a lot of people have left Twitter, but a lot of people are still hanging on in there, and it still is serving, at least in a very basic way, for free exchange for all of information and news. So my guides show me that over time it's just going to lose its value for the Saudis. They're going to sell stocks thinking maybe the deed is done, but whoever's going to take over Twitter, and they say this might be in 6 or 7 months. Of course, I'm not great with time, but that's what I asked, and what I heard is how much time is it going to take. So maybe 6-7 months from now, these new owners or owner come in and they want to restore Twitter to what it originally was, to the intention of it. And you can see with Musk that they reminded me about how recently, how we're not even talking about it anymore. I don't know why. He, sent a rocket ship off in space using all this SpaceX technology and entertainment purposes only. I don't mean to smear anybody, but using his own technology, I should say. And it was a disaster. Like the second it took off, it just exploded. And nobody talked about it. And Elon Musk changed the narrative, right? He said, oh, it's great. No, that we're going to learn a lot from this. This is really valuable to us. No biggie. This is a good thing that the billions of dollars or millions of dollars were wasted by this catastrophe. And my guide showed me the reason it actually happened was because Elon Musk, just like he is with the Twitter staff and making all these catastrophic decisions, thinking he's saving money, and then just, ending up costing so much more money because he's made these terrible decisions and fired all his staff who were essential and then they had to be rehired. They show me that, just according to my guides, that he tried to save money behind the scenes building this rocket, like he would get secondhand stuff and he wouldn't pay full market price, and he just tried to do it on the cheap. And that's why it blew up. That if he had actually invested in the way that he should have to have a successful launch, it would have been a lot more money. And he's very cheap behind the scenes, and then that's why things fell apart for him. But he's propped up, just like all these other people in the right-wing world, right? Like, all of them. Tucker Carlson and Sean Hannity, Rudy Giuliani, Trump. They're straw men for the destruction of our democracy, but they're also malignant narcissists, and they are extremely dysfunctional and disorganized and selfish people, so they leave gaping holes in their nefarious plans, and then they get busted for it. So they say that it's really important also to think about how Elon Musk and the other very cynical media moguls try to wag the dog. Another reason why you start controlling big media organizations, just like, is it Chris Licht owns or is the major CEO of CNN? Then you have this huge tool to control the narrative, and then you try to shape what is going to happen in the next elections. You decide, I'm going to report on this and then I'm going to blow up this and whatever. You're trying to use psyops, really, psychological operations, so that you can create a false narrative, or the narrative that you prefer, so that you can create the outcome you want, as opposed to things happening and then we react. Wag the dog is making the reaction, and then the thing happens. I think that's what it means. Yeah, wagging the dog, taking control of how people are going to behave and act. So that is really what we're experiencing right now. It's causing us a lot of cognitive dissonance and upset and feelings of powerlessness and helplessness in a way, because when you watch the media now, what are you getting reflected back to you? Fear, hopelessness, anger, outrage, irritation. And I think myself and my guides wanted to talk about it right now, because I feel like with all these school shootings, right, it's the same old. The actual amount of them, or the frequency of them, I should say, and the terrible consequences of them, and they come up so quickly like wildflowers, and the reason people do them is just insane, like all these shootings where people are just knocking on people's doors and then they're getting killed. But that, I want to remind everybody, is something that is being created from the ground up. It's not necessarily that the person decides to take out a school and then afterwards we're thinking about, well, why did that happen? And then we're resolving it. The right-wingers know that it won't be resolved. Right now, with the House being very narrowly controlled by the GOP, they're not going to allow it to be resolved. Of course they're not. They might, talk about thoughts and prayers, but this is exactly where they want us to be. They use am I going to say this properly? I'm sorry. Stochastic terrorism, which is the process of creating inflammatory narrative so that it lights a fire, and then these things happen. It's like setting off fireworks or something, but you intentionally do that. You don't really always know who's going to be set off, but you're going to create enough of these unstable fireworks that somebody's going to go off. And why do you do that? Because you want the population with a Democratic president and a narrow hold on the Congress, and 2024 coming up with the balance of Congress and the Senate in question. This is exactly the environment and the mindset you want people to be in, so that when they, or at least a percentage of them, enough to get you over the hump, go into the ballot booth, or the voting booths, they're going to want, this is your hope if you're one of them, that they want a strong daddy. They want people who tell them that there should be harder consequences. Everybody should have a gun. They're going to look after them, take care of them, and everybody should be in panic and hide so that the strong men can come out, the strong daddies, and mommies too, if you, in quotation marks, if you look at Marjorie Taylor Greene, so that we're safe. And we can't keep ourselves safe, of course. It's too dangerous out there. So we have to have these imposed safeties. And what does that do, and who benefits? The NRA benefits, because they expand their sales. That's always been their thing. Create more and more stochastic terrorism through the politicians that you own or that you bribe, so that you're going to, continue your hold, and you're going to get rich, and you're going to grow your operation, and you can be more and more and more needed. The NRA has always been like that. They've never, as far as I know, or at least in the recent years, have ever really come up and said, look, we need more gun regulation. Anytime mass school shooting happens, they say it didn't really happen, that they were crisis actors, and they create a lot of cognitive dissonance and gaslighting. And this suits them. They want this environment. The powers that be, who are the GOP, or the ones who want to bring in autocracy. And oh, by the way, Hitler did the same thing. You create false enemies, you create division and polarity, the good guys and the bad guys, and you create a false situation, and you have a scapegoat or scapegoats, so that the people who identify with you support you to the extent that they would be just fine if everybody was put into concentration camps or put into gas ovens. Not that, I don't know how many of the actual German population knew about the concentration camps, but you create a situation where that's very possible. And if you remember not so long ago how Trump and his people created that mindset to justify what they did to the migrants who came to this country. And one day we're really going to have to look back at that as a part of American history that we have to be accountable for, and how tragic and horrible that was, and how there's still consequences of that now, with children still missing, and just the trauma those children went through, and the amount of abuse they at least many of them suffered in those, I call them concentration camps, but those, holding camps, or whatever, the migrant camps. And it then, like the concentration camps, unfortunately, experienced a Nazi-like time with the a vulnerable population. But that is the point of that kind of stochastic terrorism. I mean, it was stochastic terrorism that led Timothy McVeigh to blow up the federal building in Oklahoma. And the reason I'm bringing this up is not to scare people or not to do the same thing. I just want us to get in control of our narrative and how we're perceiving this. The fear that is being ramped up, the anxiety, the depression, etc. That is not, things are yes, that's part of our society and the gun violence and all that, but it isn't something that is all of, it's not the sum total of America and the wonderful things that are happening in this country in so many ways to turn things around. We're not, because the media won't let us see that, the policies that are now being manifested or put into reality by the Infrastructure Act and other acts that the Biden administration passed. So that is that is what I wanted to talk about, what my guides wanted me to talk about. I'm sorry if I was a little incoherent about it. But I'm, forming, this is not scripted, and, I'm forming the thoughts in my mind as we speak. I don't know I'd like to know what you think about it. I love reading your comments below. But the major thing, I think, that I want to tell you and my guides want to tell you is just never, or try not to lose your grounding. Try to always come back when you feel that overwhelm into your center and breathe. Do your mantra or whatever, you work in your garden or whatever it is you do to come back to the now. And understand that if we are channels for energy, we're channels for the light if we choose to be, and we can take control of the narrative and we can refocus it, because so much of it happens here in our minds. The idea is not to be afraid and to live with your truth, to, no matter what the illusion is or whatever of what world we're being told we live in, what world do we really live in, what do you really experience in your environment, and then beyond that, how can you make it better? One of my favorite philosophies is leave it better than you found it, and go from there. Okay, I am going to segue into our oracle card, which is vibration. Vibration. It is normal for your energy to fluctuate throughout the course of a day. When you are in the process of healing it, it's easy to fall into a period of low energy. Your energy naturally lowers to assist your body or mind with healing. However, this comes with challenges, and it's easy to start feeling depressed. This card is prompting you to raise your vibration. Raising your energy even a little will assist your healing process. Elevating your vibration can provide you with a direct link to your guides and higher self. The shift in vibration may help you receive guidance on your healing. Build up and utilize the relationship with your higher self. You will find your conscious mind can recognize and apply the information your higher self receives. As you continue to raise your vibration, you will find you have a better grasp on everything. Vibration. And I guess in essence, that's what I was talking about with my guides regarding how our vibration is influenced by these kinds of stochastic terrorism memes and whatever this noise is around us. But if we raise our vibration, we raise the world's vibration. And then we redirect our energy and we manifest what we want to see in the world. Be the change you want to see in the world, right? Gandhi. So this is the discussion I had with my guides. I hope it was helpful. Again, let me know what you think in the comments. Oh, I never say this or very rarely say this in my videos, but please like, subscribe, and share. And if you want to get notified when my videos come out, which they do every Sunday usually, it's very rare that I skip one, hit the bell. Oh, it's also the anniversary of my very first shows. I'm 4 years old, so I believe it this week. Or maybe it was at the end of April, but I just got the notification from YouTube that it's my anniversary. So happy anniversary to Melissa Free Range Psychic.